guys, it is Marie and welcome back to another YouTube video. So today I'm going to be doing a movie review on They/Them. So if you have not seen it, it just came out, I think like last week. But if you have not seen it, then I recommend you go see it and then watch this movie. Actually, I don't recommend you watch it. It's the worst movie ever. But yeah, but it's on Peacock Premium and that's like $5, but it still has ads. But if you do $10 a month, then you get all the movies plus no ads. So that's what it is. But yeah, so clearly I'm gonna do spoilers about this movie, and that's basically just about it. So spoilers right here, and let's just get started. So basically I'm gonna talk about the plot. So basically people like LGBTQ kids will go to like a conversion camp, but then there's like a mass killer like cutting them off one by one or whatever. So basically that is the plot, and I'm gonna talk about when it first started. So basically we just have like the kids getting out, and it has like, you know, like a whole bunch of kids, and it has the main character Jordan, who is basically they them, so it's non-binary, and then it shows the counselors, and they're just introducing everyone, so they're not gonna like say something about like God, and then they just kind of like go off in a boy-girl groups. But then of course Jordan is neither or both, I don't really know. They talk, and then the person, I'm gonna call him Owen, that's his name, played by Kevin Bacon, basically says just go on the boy one, and if that doesn't work out, then we can talk about getting you into the girl one. And then so there's that, and then we have this jock guy, and he says he, and then Jordan is like they, ma'am, and I love Jordan's, like, Jordan was honestly one of my favorite characters in this, and their like humor and everything is so good, and like the way like they like stick up for other people is really cool, so I really enjoyed that. And then basically I don't remember what happens next, but they go into like this like little group and talk about like why they're there, and a lot of them is just the parents made them, and basically Jordan says if I go here then I could get emancipated, and that's just you basically get to live on your own even if you're not 18. And a lot of them are like really sad, and like one of them, Kim, basically like hasn't came out to anyone, and she's struggling, and she wants to be considered normal, so it's like really sad. Just I wish like people knew they could be who they want to be and not have to worry about like people judging them. I don't think I'm gonna think that because I am a Christian, so of course I don't agree with that lifestyle, but I still think that you should be able to be who you want to be without feeling judged, and I would never judge someone on it, and I would try to respect them as much as I can. So there's that. And I don't really remember, I had it all written down on my phone. I felt bad for Alexander, and I'll explain that in just 1 second, because it was she was in the girls cabin, and then she was like really like late at night, probably like early morning, like 5 a.m, like the sun wasn't even up, and she went showering, and all of a sudden she turns around and there's a counselor, which I think her name is Sarah, I'm gonna call her Sarah, and basically she ends the next scene is basically her with a suitcase, and basically she's actually transgender, which this scene really made me sad and upset, because Owen was like, well, Jordan was honest with me, but it's like she is like a girl like at heart. But I do like kind of something like a conversion camp if you were born whatever, and still, but it was like really sad how she is a girl and she believes she's a girl, but then she gets like picked on and everything, so that really made me feel bad. And I actually like Toby, and Toby I think is gay, but he's like, I love him. I hate how like I liked him, and I was afraid that all the characters would be like it, just because it's like a stereotypical gay person and how they do, and I hate when they do that in movies. But I loved Toby, and every time they got like the thing wrong, they got like Jordan's pronouns wrong, he'll be like they, and every time they get Alexandra, they'd be like she, and it's just, I love Toby, he's awesome, he's sweet. There's that. And then we have Veronica, which I really like her. I'm guessing she's like full lesbian, like. And then we soon later find out that she actually is doing a college paper on conversion camps like this. And I really like her, and her and Kim's relationship is so cute. Like, they're doing this bracelet scene, and it was just, it warmed my heart. And I feel like I just loved it. Like, it was so cute. And then we have Gabriel. Clearly he's a guy, and it's just, I don't really know, like, it just, I don't remember what him saying it was, but I always had like a weird feeling about him, and I don't know why, but I was just like, I don't trust him, you know? I wrote down like a whole bunch of stuff, so I wouldn't like I know what to talk about for the video, but then I didn't print it out like I should have, so I did just print it out. But basically, the one who plays the nurse, Molly, she was in Inventing Anna, and she played in My Girl like the main character, so I thought it was really weird like seeing her in a different role. And then basically Alexandra ends up going to the nurse's station and has to get her pills, and clearly they are hormone pills, and she like talks about it, and basically it's just so sad. So of course she gets the pills. So I really liked the nurse, and I was like, that's just so sweet. And then, so going back to when basically they like said like Alexandra was a boy. So basically they said you had to be in appropriate clothes, or gender appropriate clothes. And of course they think Alexandra's a boy, so she can't wear girl clothes. So Toby lent her some, but really sweet. Jordan and ends up actually putting on a dress as like a statement, and I love that for them. And it was just so cute, and I was like, go Jordan. But then basically they end up waking up, like the girls and the boys end up waking up, and they basically get handcuffed to each other, and they have to like stay outside like all morning or all night or whatever. It was like, I want to say it was like 1 to like 6 a.m. maybe. And it was really cute to just have like sweet scenes. And of course Toby and the jock Stu basically got together, and it was just, I love the way like Toby acts around him. And then of course it's Kim and Veronica, and I thought that was sweet. And I think it's Jordan and Alexandra. I think that's all. But then basically they just use that as like a way to like go through all this stuff. And I was really afraid like they would find Alexandra's pills that the nurse gave her. But they didn't. But they did find like a Bible, and of course Jordan like drew in it and everything. And that was like the only Christian thing, because I thought I'd be like whole like make Christians seem so bad and so evil. And I know that's what movies do. I know that's what a lot of like LGBT people think about Christians, and I just like how that movie did not do that. I go into a therapist session, and the therapist needs to go back to school because basically she said to Jordan that your parents don't love you, and that no matter what you did, you can never be good enough. And basically said you weren't a good enough boy, you weren't a good enough girl, so you decided to be your own person and be both. And I was like, bro, like I wanted to slap her right then and there. So I was like, I hope she dies. And then, so when they were meeting everyone, there was this guy, and he was like the fixer-upper guy, and he was like really, really creepy, like pervy guy, honestly. And basically he was looking at Kim and Alexandra, and then Veronica's like, they're not on the same team or something like that, basically saying they're lesbian. And I love that. And then, so basically after the whole therapist scene, Jordan is just laying in bed, and Alexandra's talking to them, and then basically they just start talking, and then they start singing the effing perfect song by Pink. And that scene, I was like, oh my god, I want them to sing. But then it was just so wholesome of them just all like loving themselves and thinking like, even though they're not normal or whatever, like they still love themselves. So I thought that scene was honestly really cute. But then we go to a scene, and the handyman basically has a camera in the girls' locker room and is watching them naked. And you don't really see anything, you just see their butts. So I really like how they did that. They didn't like completely do a whole thing on nude. But then all of a sudden, this killer just smacks him in the head and he dies. And I was happy, like, that guy's a freaking perv. So then they basically did, like, gender roles, and basically, like, all the men go and fight, like, not fight, but, like, shoot guns, and then, like, the girls had to make pies for the men. And that's, like, really annoying, like, you know, like, men can make pies, and girls can go and shoot, you know? So I hate how they did that. And basically the scene is that Jordan clearly is a beast at the gun, and they end up basically being the other guy, and I forgot his name, but he was, like, so basically, like, the worst type of man. Basically the Andrew Tate in this movie. So we have that, and then basically the girls go make a pie, and then afterwards Sarah, the one who caught Alexandra, basically is, like, all, like, kind of, like, up in, like, Kim's grill, and was, like, feeling her and trying to get her to, like, kiss her to do something, to try and, like, get Kim to do something. And it made me really uncomfortable, and I just felt so bad for Kim, and it just broke my heart. And then this scene definitely broke my heart. So going back to the boys, and basically what happens is they're talking about being a killer, and then basically they pick Toby and basically tell Toby to kill the dog, and because the dog has cancer, and it's like, if you don't kill it, then this guy's gonna break his leg, and he's gonna break his other leg. And it was, like, really sad. So Jordan ends up just shooting the dog so Toby doesn't have to, and it was really sad and everything, and it was horrible, and this guy is a monster, and that poor doggy. And then you go back to Kim, and she's, like, smoking and, like, crying, like, on this, like, bridge, not this bridge, but, like, this thing for it's, like, water. I don't know, I'll probably have a picture of it. And then Veronica, like, is, like, talking to her, and they kind of, like, talk, and it's, like, really sweet. And then all of a sudden Kim's like, I just keep thinking Jason's gonna pop out of the water, and basically, like Jason, the Friday the 13th movies. And I thought that was so funny. And then they kissed, and then it was, like, a really, really intense sex scene, and I did skip it. And don't be like, oh my god, it's because they're two girls. Like, no, I watched some of it, but then when it started getting really intense, I was like, you know, like, I just skipped it just because I felt like I didn't need to see that. But I thought that was really cute, and I was, like, kind of cute, like, Kim was accepting herself. Basically, Jordan and Toby and Alexandra talking about how they need to leave there, because Jordan ends up finding, like, pictures of, like, the people, like, from the camp before getting, like, not tased, but, like, getting, like, the stuff, like, what you do at conversion camps, and, like, we have to leave. So they're talking about it and everything. Oh, and back to when they had to, like, stay outside, it was so funny. Like, Stu ended up falling asleep on Toby's shoulder, and when he woke up, Toby was like, too late, you're already pregnant. It was so funny how they did that, and, like, how, like, they pick on, or how he picks on him just because he's, like, a normal jock or whatever, but still. So it has that, and then it goes to basically Stu swimming, and I think he's naked, I can't tell for sure. And then basically we have Gabriel, and he's like, is the water cold? No. Can I come in? Yeah. And he comes in, and they get, like, really up close and personal, and then they have sex. Well, they actually kiss, and they go into this room and basically have sex. And of course that was weird. And then basically we go to, like, him waking up and Gabriel looking at him, and basically I was right not to trust Gabriel, because the messy guy, that Andrew Tate and Owen were basically there, and Gabriel set him up to it to see if he would do it. And then they go and basically put him in a chair and make these things. So it has, like, a really, like, Victoria's Secret model, and then it switches to a man, and then he'll tase him or whatever it is. And it was just, I was like, oh my god, that is horrible. Like, honestly, 100% so bad. And I can't believe, like, they actually did that to people, and they probably still do. And it just broke my heart, and I was like, I hope this killer kills him soon. So then it basically goes to, like, them having to have Molly, like, help him, and she's like, this place is weird, I'm gonna call the cops, I'm leaving, I quit. He's like, the cops don't care, I'm so awesome. And I was like, evil. Like, I don't know. I don't remember anything else. There's more stuff, like, in between with Gabriel, and it's just, so basically we have Sarah and Andrew Tate. That's not the name of the movie, I'm just calling him that. And they're basically like, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing some really weird thing. And they go to like start doing the naughty, and then they get killed. And I was like, yes, I'm so happy they're dead. And then it goes to Gabriel like laying in the pool on like the swamp thingy, and basically has his hand in it. He actually touches a dead body, and then he ends up getting killed. So then we have Kim and Veronica going and get some food, and they see the dead body is just placed there. So of course everyone gets woken up, and then yeah, so there's all of that scene. I'm gonna talk about, it was, oh my gosh, this movie is so mad. So like, okay, we're the white rifles, speaking of the rifles, that's to Jordan's head, and then Owen's like, I won't give rifles to kids, as you just gave into them like the day before. Makes no sense. And Owen was talking about how he thought it was them because like it was the counselors who were getting killed, and then they were waiting because they're supposed to bring the bus around, but then the therapist lady ends up getting killed, thank God. And basically Alexandra takes like the people, like the minor characters, and then go in the woods, like, and like once they get like bored, they're able to call the police. And then Jordan ends up going to find the rifles, and of course Owen walks in, but if he hides in a closet and finds the therapist's dead body, and then the killer ends up attacking Owen, and then we find out that the killer is Molly, and her name is actually Angie, and basically she ended up going to that camp when she was 14 years old, and he ended up doing the same, like, not A's in them, but you know what I mean, doing electroshock therapy, I think that's what it's called. And yeah, I was like, go you, like, makes sense. And we find out that in the beginning there was some lady driving and gets killed. We found out that was actually supposed to be the nurse, and Molly just took her place. So that was nice. Clearly he got killed, and then Molly ended up going to jail, and basically like it was like the next day, and then all the kids are just sitting like waiting for the parents to pick them up. And then Stu was going into like the ambulance, and Toby asked to come with, and that person's like, are you family? And then Stu was like, yes he is, and it was just so sweet. And then basically they talk, and then Veronica's like, are you gonna tell your parents about us? And then Kim's like, we'll do it together, and they talk, and then me explain. It just ends, and they sing the song Fucking Perfect. So my issue with this movie was they had it categorized as a slasher film, and it wasn't really a slasher. There was like no horror whatsoever. I mean, I guess like the whole like the conversion camp was supposed to be it, but like I was thinking more like the Friday the 13th vibes, and that wasn't it. And I really just didn't like it, and it was just really slow, and I was just like, I did think the characters were cute, and I did think they did like a good job of like explaining like everything, but it's just there was no horror in it, honestly. And it is characterized as a slasher, so yeah. But I wasn't into it. I feel like if you don't go in expecting Friday the 13th type movie, then maybe you'll like it more, but I just really didn't like it. I think I gave that like a 5 out of 10 and like a 1 out of 5 stars. So I really did not like this movie at all. Obviously, I was very disappointed in it. I was looking forward, like I really bought Peacock just so I could watch it, and I was so disappointed. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my video. If you've watched They Them, put your comments down. It's they/them, because they, you know. But put them down in the comment below what you thought about it. And yeah, I'll see you next week.